So Jonah, we're talking today about the Ruger LC9s, this is your weapon. You bought this where?
I got this from Palmetto State Armory online.
Okay, so last weekend we were able to go out to shoot straight, and it was the first time for us to go ahead and shoot this weapon in particular. And we tried a couple different types of ammunition. We used Winchester white box, 115 grain target rounds, and then what was the other type with the steel?
They were Winchester 115 grain target rounds, but they were the steel shell, so
okay.
They were pretty cheap.
Yeah. So we tried those out. We had some issues with so we shot both guns. We shot the Ruger LC9s, and we also shot my Walther PPS M2, and the Walther had problems feeding the steel shells right away. We had 6 shots and stopped firing. But this weapon seemed to feed both types of ammunition, no problems.
Yeah, absolutely. The LC9s shot all the rounds real well, didn't have any problems. Shot about 150 rounds through this gun last weekend, and towards the end had a few jams just with ejecting some of the shells. I think that was just because we shot through about 100 rounds of those the real cheap rounds first, and so it was pretty dirty. But I only had I think maybe 2 or 3 of those, so had no problem at all shooting as far as jams or anything like that.
Yeah, so this was our first time shooting this weapon in particular. It was our second time to be out with the Walther, but this weapon was our first time. As far as shooting impressions, the first thing that I noticed right away was there was a lot more felt recoil with this particular gun. Now, with the single stack, it's a smaller grip, so a much narrower grip than you have in like a double stack. So it didn't surprise me the felt recoil was increased. What was your sort of take on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a smaller gun, and so I mean, just less to hold on to, so it's going to be more felt recoil, obviously. Although there's a little bit more recoil, it's definitely controllable. I don't have very large hands, but I had no problem getting a good handful of grip in here, and we shot, like I said, 150 rounds. Definitely no problem. It wasn't uncomfortable or anything like that. I do have these traction grips on here, so give me a little bit more grip to hold on to. I never shot it just with the regular, just how it comes with the stippling or whatever that they do on there. But I mean, it feels fine with the stock grips on here. But I mean, I wanted a little bit more. The grip is pretty small, and I just want a little bit more something to hold on to, a little bit more comfort for shooting. So I keep the pinky extension on here as well. I just like having that to hold on to. It doesn't add really much to the gun, and it feels a lot better shooting. So.
Yeah, I did like the traction grips a lot. We went ahead and the traction grip folks have been real good to us. We went ahead and put the traction grips on this. We put the traction grips on the Walther PPS M2. We shot both of them with it on there. I really did like I thought it improved the ergonomics of the Walther. The Walther, the pistol grip itself felt really good just stock in your hand, but I think the traction grips did improve the ergonomics a little bit. This one, I think it did add a little bit of girth into the pistol grip, and it definitely made it more comfortable to shoot. I did think that this got one thing that was really impressive about this. For as small as it is, it was really accurate.
Yeah.
It's got smaller dots on the sights than the Walther, but I didn't have any issue as far as targeting, hitting the targets. I didn't have any issue with the smaller dots.
I didn't either. The dots weren't a big deal. I think it would be obviously better if it had some better sights on there, which I might do in the future. But I mean, for stock sights, they're really good. I think the accuracy has to do mainly with the trigger. Real smooth trigger, no problem at all with that, no complaints at all. That was probably my favorite part of the gun when we were out shooting. So.
Yeah, now one thing I want to point out on this, and we'll get some shots of this close up, make sure that you guys see that this is that the weapon is cleared, so that it is empty. The one thing that I noticed about this gun that folks may not have seen, try to hold this up in a way that you can see this. You do have a safety over here.
Yeah, thumb safety.
Thumb safety, and the Walther does not have that. Some people don't like that. It didn't. I didn't think it inhibited the shooting in any way.
No.
You have any issues with it? Do you prefer it with or without?
I don't like a thumb safety, so it's not my favorite thing, but it definitely doesn't bother me either. It's a real small tactile safety anyway. You're not going to accidentally bump it. You know, when I carry, I'm going to carry it inside the waistband, and I don't think I'll have any problems bumping it or anything like that. It's pretty, I mean, it's out of the way. And
yeah, and one thing about it, it's very, you're not going to accidentally, I don't think you're accidentally going to turn this on. It's really, it's got a, I don't know if you can hear this or not, but it's got a nice snap to it. I mean, it's not,
yeah,
it's not like you could accidentally.
And if you hit it, you're
very
gonna know.
tactile.
Yeah, you're gonna know that you either put it on or took it off. You know, if you do, so it's not gonna be by accident.
Exactly. Now, the one thing that I don't know if you can see it here. This trigger, and we'll try to get a close-up shot of this. This trigger does have it's got the integrated trigger safety, and it's really got a nice smooth feel.
Yeah, no grit to it at all.
Yeah, it's a long throw. It is a long throw trigger, but it's really very, very smooth. One thing that I like about this trigger over actually just anything, comparing this to the Walther, comparing it to the Smith & Wesson M&P, the M&P series, I like this trigger. It's all metal. Mm-hmm. Construction is really, really good on this gun. Yeah. Fit and finish is really nice. It's been really impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really a gun snob. I mean, I like, you know, I'm definitely not going to be, I prefer a, you know, a Ruger or a Glock or a Smith & Wesson over, you know, a High Point, obviously. But that being said, I just like shooting guns, and, you know, I don't really, if a gun has a little bit of a gritty trigger, it's not too big of a problem for me. But it is something that's definitely noticeable with this gun. It just has a really nice trigger.
Yeah, comparatively, we got the Walther here, and this is, you know, this is not scientific by any means. Make sure that the weapon is clear. There's a flag in there, but this is cleared. Trying to prove that we're safe here. This got a nice. This trigger is really nice too.
Yeah.
But this trigger is a little stiffer. It's like and I don't have a gauge to tell you what the, you know, where it breaks at as far as how much force that you have to put on there. But it seems to me like this trigger is a little bit, the pull force is a little bit harder than on that one.
A little bit harder and way less of a pull on that. That's just got such a short trigger. I mean, you barely have to move it, it feels like. There's a little bit of pull, you hit that wall, and then you pull through that wall, and you're firing the gun. This one, you just got a lot more travel in here. Honestly, that's probably my favorite between the two as far as triggers go. Construction-wise, I think I prefer this one, but as far as trigger feel goes, I think I prefer the Walther. They're both really good. I mean, that's just my opinion. You can be the judge of which one you like better. But yeah, that's me. They're both really good guns. Like I said,
we put another couple of probably 200 rounds. Would it be 200 rounds between the two of them, or
probably about 150?
Maybe 300 rounds.
Maybe more. Yeah.
150 between each. And then a couple weeks ago when we went out with just the Walther, we put probably 200 or 300 rounds through it then. Mm-hmm. So both of these guns, this one's probably got about 500 rounds through it. This one's probably got about 200 rounds through it so far. So we've been impressed with these. I like them both. I think they're both excellent choices if you're looking for a single stack, concealed carry, daily carry weapon. Neither of these are very heavy. They're both pretty light.
Yeah.
Both of them are very small, and maybe we'll do another video where we, because you're going to get an inside the waistband holster for this one. Mm-hmm. I have an inside the waistband holster for the Walther, and maybe when we do that, we'll go ahead and put both the six round magazines in them, mm-hmm. and then see how they print. Do a print comparison, and then also just sort of review the inside the waistband holsters. Just because we are looking at these as concealed carry weapons, and they're both really, really nice weapons. Yeah,
that's another thing to add. If you're, looking at both of these guns, you've probably seen this one only comes with the one magazine. It's a 7-round magazine. I went ahead and ordered another 7-round magazine from Ruger. They're not that expensive. I think they're like $30. So, you're gonna spend a little bit more with the Walther, but you do get a 6-round and a 7-round magazine, so that's nice. So
yeah.
keep in mind.
That is one thing to point out as far as differences. If you guys are looking at single stack 9mm for concealed carry, the Walther does come with 2 magazines. This one comes with 1. The Walther does come with a nice plastic case from Walther. This, like the Smith & Wesson, comes in a cardboard box. That's not a negative, just to let you know what you get.
It's a little bit of a negative. I'd rather have a box, but yeah, but you're spending more money though. So.
And it is an American-made weapon.
Yeah, that is a good.
That is a good thing. I mean, I like the Walther. I think the German engineering is fantastic. I think the fit finish, that's a great gun.
Yeah.
This one is really, really good as well, man. This is a great weapon.
Yeah, and as far as you know, dealing with the people from Ruger are great to, from what I've heard. I haven't had any problems with it, but I've heard that if you do have any problems with your gun, people at Ruger are really good to work with. And so, yeah, I mean, if you know, an American-made gun is something that you have to have and you're not interested in the Walther, there you go. That makes your choice a little bit easier. I mean,
hopefully we won't have any warranty issues with either of these weapons, but fantastic build quality on both of them. But we can highly recommend both of them as far as a daily carry weapon.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks.